So, update time. Good news. Not been a bad start for a newly promoted team. Bad news, I think the hammer is broken. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on the D-Boy Plays channel where we're talking about the On The Med Save. I hope you're doing very well. Life of Dekani. Not been too bad. We're 14 games into the season, as you can see. 5 wins, 5 draws and 4 losses. For a newly promoted team, I'm pretty pleased with this, but there's been some ups and downs. Let's go and have a quick look at our schedule. As you can see, things started really well for us. Really well. Like, we played some of the bigger teams straight off the bat. I think the first 4 teams, I was really not happy that those were the matches that we got. Domjala, Maribor, Olympia, Ljubljana. I was thinking, great, we're going to lose like our first 4 or 5 games, and it's going to be just a nightmare start to things. But somehow, and I think this is because of the continued form from last year, and obviously having a decent preseason, we were able to go into those first few games and we picked up some very important wins. The first one, and the most notable one for me, was beating Maribor 3-0. Maribor, of course, being one of the big boys. Lovely opening goal there from Sigalko. Then one of the new boys, Amir, he came in clutch here with our second. Great finish into the bottom corner. And then, once again, really nice play. What we expect to see from the hammer formation here. Wonderfully passed balls around, and Radonia getting the third. And things continued that way. I mean, you can see, first 7 games of the season, completely unbeaten. I was so happy, absolutely gassed. But then, yeah, international break happened, and then things started going a little bit wrong. We lost 4 of our next 5 league games there, and over on stream, I was not in a good place. Not in a good place while this was happening. We organised a friendly against local team Azola, trying to just boost a little bit of confidence, but it didn't seem to work. And weirdly as well, we drew them in the cup like 2 weeks later as well, so it was kind of like, cool, we're playing this team twice. They're not even in a playable league, by the way. So that did result in us basically just binning off the hammer. It's still one of the available things. However, we've got this brand new formation here. As you can see, it's called Dekani Dale. Now, minor confession with this one. I was already training this formation. This was one of the ones right at the start of the save. I kind of played around with a handful of formations just to sort of see what would be some interesting things basically with the players that I had right at the beginning, and we've kind of still signed within that sort of alignment, but the players that we had, what formations do I think would work? We made the hammer, or we used the hammer because of it working well with a Fjolnir save I was doing offline. We had a couple of other ones as well that I was kind of playing around with, but I didn't really like. But I'd made this one, Dekani Dale. Followers of the channel will know, last year on FM23 over on Twitch, I managed Rochdale. Had a wonderful save with them. Don't like to talk about it, but we did amazingly. We won basically everything with them, and it was fantastic. And one of the viewers, going to shout out this Gizmo Bob was his name, suggested a formation, and it was this. It was a 5-2-2-1, and basically went, look, give it a go. I think this was halfway through our championship years. We were really struggling. He said, just give it a go, see how you get on. So we set it and basically used it from like season 6 until the end of the save. So it was amazing for us, absolutely incredible. And we started using it with the boys, and yeah, you can see form turned around really nicely. It does leak goals, I will say this, but depending on how we're feeling going into it, we obviously had a 3-2 there and a 4-3 game against Celje. That was kind of a great way to end things, because obviously right at the start of the stream, as you can see, they were the team that we lost to at the beginning of things. But bringing it back, absolutely incredible game. Scenes, absolute scenes. So yeah, super gassed with how it's looking so far. It might not be the best formation, but we'll give it a few games, see how it gets on, and yeah, good luck to the boys using it. It's tough because obviously we've made some improvements to the team, but not many people wanted to join us, so we kind of we got the best out of a bad bunch. Let's show you these guys. Quite a few players being brought in. You can see there's a couple of loanies. pretty much all freebies. We did lose Dragoslav, one of our centre-backs, one of our own as well, youth player that was coming up, but he'd already signed a pre-contract with somewhere else, so he disappeared straight away to Mura. But let's have a look at some of the new additions. So coming in goal, affectionately nicknamed Jesus Christ, pretty much just as we were ending stream, someone said, could we call him Jesus Christ? So we changed his name. But his real name, if I just remind myself of this right now, Marko Kordic, a Montenegrin man, been pretty decent. He's like, if you look at his form, he's only had 4 clean sheets, bless him, but he's not been terrible. He really hasn't been terrible. It's not his fault that we've conceded things. You can see he's actually quite good in the stats forms of things. Everything that matters is above a 10, so I'm happy with him. But it's not his fault that we've played badly. Our defence is not great. The aforementioned Amir, one of the new boys, 32-year-old centre mid, got him in from Kirka. And again, really, really like the look of this guy. All the relevant things are above a 10, apart from his stamina. That has gone down a little bit since we've got him. But he's been brilliant. He's been, honestly, one of our better players. 3 goals, 4 assists from that central midfield position. He's now sort of playing in a defensive midfielder position. But he's great. He's done a really, really good job for us. And again, at 32, yes, his physicals aren't brilliant, but he was one of the better players we were able to bring in. Now, one of our first loanees in from Dynamo Zagreb, Matija Rujkovački. I've definitely butchered that. But yeah, one of the centre-back options, 19 years old, plenty of space to grow within this player. And I really like the look of him. You know, again, pretty much everything, apart from that decision-making, they're 10s and above. And that was kind of, I guess that was kind of the template. If it's 10 and above, it's worth having a look at, right? Especially for us, we've just got promoted. And he's had a decent time. He's pretty much started every league game for us. And I think, looking at his rating, he's got a 6.85 at the moment, but he's been good, and he's one of the starters for us, so, not unhappy with this one. Now we get on to one of the panic signings. He's got a lot of determination here. He's a very, very determined young lad. Uroš Zvetkovic. I think I did okay with that one. And I don't dislike the look of this guy. He's definitely backup. Definitely a backup player for us, but might have a bit of room to grow. There's things that I like about him. There's things I don't like about him, but I'm sure he'll do a job, especially now that we're doing this sort of more wing back play in this sort of 5-2-2-1 formation. Maybe he'll get a little bit more utilisation, but I don't dislike him. Again, a lot of the stats 10 and above, so I'm very, very pleased. Okay, Lucas Vranjes. Same story. Again, his biggest problem is he's not very strong. But again, pretty good. Slovenian. I wanted to make sure we've got loads of homegrown players. Something I'm trying to do as we go along in this save is keep it homegrown. I don't want to have too many foreign players in the team, only because it just sort of keeps it in time with the save. We're trying to use players from those countries, and it really helps a lot when you've got homegrown players. Obviously, with certain registration rules, and especially if somehow any of these teams make it into Europe that we end up with, then we want to make sure that they've got plenty of homegrown talent to help out with those things. I'm not even going to try saying this guy's first name, but Puznik. Again, ticks those boxes. Everything is a 10 or above, and I was very happy. Most of them actually 11 or above. So, big fan of this guy. He's not actually featured for me yet, but he's definitely going to be in there as a rotation player. Like I say, ticks a lot of boxes for us. He's 6'1". That might be why I'm not using him so much. He's not the tallest guy, and he can't jump. So that doesn't really help me, but he's fine. He's fine. He'll get used. We have to rotate at some point. Gashper Verdeb. Now, this chap on loan from Beltinci, or Beltinci. Not quite sure if I'm saying that right. Probably not. Again, one of the starters. He's on loan. He's really, really solid. 6'4", high jumping reach. So hopefully you're going to be very, very useful on corners. He's got a goal to his name. So happy with his efforts so far. Similar rating to the other loanee. Again, loads of potential on this guy. I'm sure by the end of the season we'll be very, very happy with this loanee coming in. Managed to get another left wing back in. We had some pretty rubbish left wing backs, so we managed to get this chap in. Gal Miklas Senakovic. You can see he's had a rename, and he's been given the number 47 because AK-47. He's very good. He's a workhorse, this chap. Runs up and down things. He's made a lot of substitute appearances for us, and being under 21 really helpful, because obviously in a Slovenian football, interesting league requirement, you need to have an under 21 in your starting 11. So has been utilised quite a lot, mainly when we can't use this next player, Anel Isla Magic, and I tell you, this lad is absolutely magic. Fully intended. Look at those stats. Good, healthy chunk of green. For 19 years old, this lad is absolutely fantastic. Now, he's on a 6.99 at the moment. Basically a 7, isn't it? Just round it up a bit. And in the cup, absolutely destroying it for us. 2 assists and a goal in the 2 games we played in there. Definitely my favourite player that we've brought in. And as you can see, he's got a target on him that was set by his parent club, Olympia. And by the looks of things, he's just got to basically be one of the best players for us. He's got to do really well. We've got to achieve an average match rate of 6.4. He's absolutely destroying that. So I'm very happy with his performances with us. And those are the new boys, pretty much. Hope you like them. So yeah, third of the league, I'd say, has gone pretty much as I expected. We've had some good wins in there. We've had a couple of moments where the team haven't been particularly pleased with us about how we're managing things. That's mainly because standard FMing, I wasn't happy with how we were playing and I wanted us to play better. But, it's sort of, fixed itself. Yeah, we'll see how things continue though. By the next video that we show you this, hopefully we will have finished this first season in the top flight with Dekani. Fingers crossed we can stay up. Hopefully we can break into that top 4 and maybe get some European football for Dekani. We shall see though. We shall see. All we can do is try our best. That's all from me though. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Look after yourselves. Laters.